Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to being genuinely well-informed. Today, we are diving deep into the Tennessee Titans 2025 NFL season. There's a real buzz, kind of this new era feel in Nashville, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. You can feel it. And our mission here is really to cut through that noise for you. We're going to unpack all the big changes since last year: roster, coaches, the big draft pick everyone's talking about.
Right. We want to pull out the most important stuff so you really understand where this team is headed.
Exactly. By the end of this, you'll have a clear picture, key players, predictions, important dates, everything you need to know about the Titans, basically.
Yeah, let's jump in. So let's start big picture. Head coach Brian Callahan, year 2. Coming off a tough 3-14 season in 2024.
Yeah, 3-14. But, that record almost hides how much turnover there's been.
How so?
I mean, players, coaches, front office, it's practically a whole new organization compared to those Vrabel and Tannehill playoff years, like 2019 to 2021.
So this isn't just tinkering, it's a full-on rebuild effort.
Totally. Callahan's really trying to lay down a new foundation here. It's significant.
And the absolute cornerstone of that foundation has to be Cam Ward, right? #1 overall pick.
No question. The biggest piece, he's this mobile QB, and the reports say he's exceeded expectations at every point in his collegiate career. That's pretty high praise.
It really is. And you have to see his arrival in context, thinking about Will Levis last year.
Oh, yeah. Levis started okay in 23, but then 2-10 last season. And that stat, the 16.3% of plays ending in a sack, fumble, or INT.
Highest since Jamarcus Russell in 2009. Ouch.
Exactly. It just killed drives, killed momentum. So Ward, just by potentially taking better care of the ball, that alone is a massive upgrade. It could completely change how their offense functions.
Changes the whole dynamic. They might actually be able to sustain drives.
Right. And it's not just the on-field stuff generating buzz. What about his work ethic?
Yeah, the reports from OTAs, training camp,
Yeah.
dedication, work ethic, leadership. Apparently he's showing up at the facility at 5 a.m. every day.
5 a.m. That says a lot, doesn't it? Especially for a rookie.
It really sets a tone. And there's that amazing story with Warren Moon, too.
Oh, that's incredible. Moon letting him wear the retired #1 jersey after it hadn't been worn since 2006.
Yeah. And Moon apparently sees a similar journey. Both guys told they weren't quite good enough at points. That's a huge vote of confidence from a Hall of Famer.
It's powerful stuff. Symbolic, really. And Ward seems to be embracing it.
He does. He said, we're capable of being one of the top offenses in the league. Pretty bold for a rookie QB.
It is bold, but maybe it shows his confidence in the system and the changes around him.
Speaking of changes, they also brought in John Fassel as the new special teams coordinator.
Right, and that's an interesting one. Fassel could provide some, hidden upside. Special teams can definitely swing a few games.
Okay, so new QB, #1 pick. Priority #1 has to be protecting it, right? The offensive line.
Absolutely. And Callahan, being known as an O-line guru, apparently made this a huge focus.
So what did they actually do? What are the key changes?
Well, they went out and got some veterans. Dan Moore from the Steelers at left tackle, seen as an upgrade there on the blind side.
Okay.
And then Kevin Zeitler at guard. He's 35, yeah, but apparently played really well last year for Baltimore. Should be a huge upgrade inside.
So bringing in Moore at left tackle, that must impact J.C. Latham.
It does, in a good way. It lets Latham shift back to right tackle, which is seen as his more natural position. Probably a better fit for him.
Gotcha. So the tackles are sorted. What about the interior now with Zeitler?
Yeah, the interior trio looks potentially really good. You've got Zeitler, Lloyd Cushenberry coming back from injury last year, and Peter Skronsky, the former first-rounder, who, maybe hasn't totally lived up to that yet, but the potential is there.
So what's the ceiling for that group?
Some are saying, and this is bold, that interior unit might be one of the top 5 in the entire league.
Yeah, top 5.
Yeah.
From where they were. That's a massive turnaround if it pans out.
Huge turnaround. Obviously, health is the big if, especially with Zeitler. But if they stay on the field, that unit looks like a real strength now.
Which is exactly what you need for a rookie QB and the run game.
Totally. Helps the run game, keeps that interior pressure off Ward. Foundational stuff.
And the run game itself, the backs look pretty solid too, right?
Yeah, they look stable. Tony Pollard, he bounced back well last year, showed more burst. And Tyjae Spears is a real weapon catching passes out of the backfield. So Ward should have support there.
Okay, let's shift to the receivers. This sounds like maybe more of a question mark.
Definitely more questions here. Calvin Ridley is your clear WR1, no doubt about that.
Right. But after him.
Yeah, that's where it gets murky. The veterans they brought in, Tyler Lockett, looks like he might be nearing the end. Van Jefferson's bounced around a lot lately without making much impact.
So not expecting huge things from them.
Probably not, which means it's really an open competition for that WR2 spot, especially for the rookie.
Who are the rookies in that mix?
Well, Elikai Omenor, fourth rounder. Some thought he could have gone way higher, maybe late first. Seen as a potential steal, lots of upside, but needs development.
Okay.
Chemir Dyke, another fourth rounder, might contribute more on special teams initially. And then there's Xavier Restrepo, undrafted guy, but he played with Ward in college, so there's chemistry there.
Interesting connection. What about tight end?
Chig Okonkwo is the name to watch. Athletic guy, could have a breakout. He was getting a ton of targets late last season. And they drafted Gunnar Helm in the fourth round, too, another receiving threat there.
Yeah, speaking of receivers and challenges. Unfortunately, we have some breaking news coming out of training camp just recently.
Yeah, this just happened. Wide receiver Treylon Burks fractured his collarbone in practice on July 26th.
Ugh, that's tough. Really tough for him, especially trying to carve out a role this year. Significant blow for their depth.
Definitely a setback. You hate to see that.
All right, let's pivot to the defense. Another area with some layers to unpack. Last year, 2024, they ranked 30th in points allowed. That sounds pretty bad.
It does on the surface, yeah. First year post-Rabel, sputtering on defense in terms of points.
But there's more to it.
There really is. Because despite giving up all those points, they actually ranked second in the league in yards allowed, fifth in yards per play, ninth in net yards per pass attempt.
Whoa, okay. So second in yards allowed, but 30th in points. How does that happen?
It points right back to the offense, doesn't it? All those turnovers, the negative plays from Levi's, it constantly put the defense in terrible field position. Short fields kill you on the scoreboard.
Gotcha. So the defense might actually be much better than that points allowed number suggests.
That's the argument. If the offense just stops handing the opponent easy scoring chances, the defensive numbers could look way better without massive personnel changes.
Okay, so where are the strengths on that defense then?
The defensive line is probably their best group. Anchored by Jeffrey Simmons, he's one of the top D linemen in the NFL.
Right.
They have Tavondre Sweat, the rookie last year, massive run stuffer. Then you've got Sebastian Joseph Day, Draymond Jones, who they signed, Carlos Watkins. It's a really strong rotation up front.
That sounds pretty formidable. What about the next level? Linebackers and edge rushers.
Well, they took a big hit losing Harold Landry. He led the team with 9 sacks last year, followed Vrabel to New England.
Oof, that hurts the pass rush.
It does. Arden Key had 6.5 sacks. He'll need to step up even more. They drafted Olu Oladeo in the second round, but he's considered pretty raw still.
And the inside linebackers.
Some turnover there, too. Cody Barton is probably their best off-ball guy. He's solid against the run, but can be a liability in coverage sometimes.
Okay, finishing up the defense with the secondary. What's the situation there, especially losing Chidobe Awuzie?
Yeah, losing Awuzie to Baltimore is a loss. A really big question mark is L'Jarius Sneed.
The big acquisition from last year.
Exactly, but he got hurt, that quad injury 5 games in, and just wasn't himself after that. He says he's fully healthy now, ready to show fans what he can do. But his health and how sharp he looks in camp and early season, that's going to be huge, because behind him, the corner depth is pretty inexperienced. Roger McCreary, the nickel corner, might actually be their most reliable player there again.
So potential issues at corner depending on Sneed's health. Safety sounds better, though.
Yeah, safety looks much more stable. Amani Hooker is really good, probably their best player in the secondary overall.
Okay.
They brought in Xavier Woods. He's 30, coming off a bit of a down year. But they also drafted Kevin Winston in the 3rd round, so maybe he pushes Woods for playing time. Add some competition.
All right, let's look ahead. Training camp is underway. Players reported July 22nd in Nashville. What's the preseason schedule look like for the Titans?
Okay, so the NFL preseason starts with the Hall of Fame game July 31st. For the Titans, Week 1 is August 9th. They're at Tampa Bay.
Okay.
Week 2, August 15th, they're at Atlanta. That one's on NFL Network. And Week 3, August 22nd, they host the Vikings for their final preseason tune-up.
Good to get those dates. And always important to remember what Arthur Smith said, right? Preseason results can distort reality.
Absolutely. Don't overreact to struggles or even huge successes in August. It's mostly about evaluation.
Good reminder. Now, the real deal, the regular season. Starts September 4th, league-wide. When do the Titans kick off?
They start on the road Sunday, September 7th at the Denver Broncos. Then their home opener is the following week, September 14th, against the LA Rams.
Got it. And for anyone listening who wants to track all the games, preseason, regular season, even playoffs down the line, where should they go?
Oh, easy. Sportsbrackets.net, it's honestly the definitive source. They have everything, the full 2025 schedules, team by team, week by week, by day.
Wow.
Seriously. And it goes all the way through the 2026 NFL playoffs, which start January 10th, 2026, and even Super Bowl LX info, February 8th, 2026, out in Santa Clara.
So sportsbrackets.net for basically all your NFL schedule needs. That's a great resource to highlight.
Definitely invaluable if you're following the season closely.
Okay, the big question. Predictions. How is this team expected to fare?
Well, there are some very different views out there. The projection from Walter Football is pretty bleak.
How bleak?
3-14, fourth place in the AFC South. Defense. Basically, not expecting much at all.
Yeah, okay, so that's one end of the spectrum, but you mentioned different views.
Right, because then you look at the betting markets, and it's a completely different story. CBS Sports' best bets are actually suggesting taking the over 5.5 wins for the Titans.
Over 5.5. That's a big jump from 3.
Huge jump. And they even suggest betting on them to win the AFC South at plus 800 odds, and Cam Ward for Offensive Rookie of the Year at plus 350.
Win the division. Wow. What's the logic behind that level of optimism? It seems completely counter to the 3-14 prediction.
The logic is that they're a classic undervalued team.
Okay.
The argument is Ward is a huge upgrade purely by cutting down those negative plays Levi's had.
Okay.
The offensive line, as we discussed, looks like it could be a genuine strength now, especially inside. Right. And that defense was actually statistically good in terms of yards allowed last year, just killed by turnovers. So maybe they're way better than the points suggested.
So less self-inflicted wounds, better line play, defense gets put in better spots.
Exactly. Plus, they have a fourth-place schedule, which helps. And the AFC South, well, maybe it's a weaker division overall. The thinking is the Texans might not reach 10 wins again.
So there's an opportunity there to maybe surprise people.
That's the bettors' angle, that they could actually shock the world and go worst to first in the division. It's optimistic, for sure, but you can see the path.
And the Cam Ward ORY bet.
Yeah, that makes sense, too. 8 QBs have won it in the last 15 years. No running backs since Saquon in 2018. If Ward plays well and the Titans exceed expectations, he's got a real shot at those odds.
Okay, so wrapping this up, the Tennessee Titans, definitely one of the more fascinating teams heading into 2025. You've got the potential of Cam Ward, this rebuilt, maybe surprisingly strong offensive line, and a defense that might be better than people think, although that Treylon Burks injury is a new hurdle for the offense.
Yeah, it's a really interesting mix of potential upside and clear question marks.
Which leads to the final thought for you, our listener. You have this rookie QB potential, the revamped O-line, a defense that could bounce back on the scoreboard. Can this undervalued Titans team really make noise and contend in what might be a wide-open AFC South?
Or will the challenges of a rebuilding year, the inexperience, maybe injuries like Burks, ultimately keep them near the bottom of the division?
That's the big question hanging over Nashville this season. Remember to track their journey, and for all those schedules and playoff info, check out sportsbrackets.net. It's going to be compelling to watch how it all unfolds.